Hey there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah Peternell. I'm the owner of Family Nutrition Services in Denver, Colorado. I'm the creator of a 30-day, self-paced, fully online, and very affordable program for people with Hashimoto's called Nourished and Renewed with Hashimoto's. You can find information about that program in some of the description information below. But today's question is a good one. I have a lot of people who ask me, oh my gosh, what is the single most important nutrient to help my thyroid if I need to lose weight? Well, first of all, that is a very tricky question because I don't think that it's a single important nutrient. I actually think it can be a combination of nutrients, and certainly it's the right nutrients for you based on nutritional testing, which I do here in my office. I use the SpectraCell micronutrient test, as well as a couple of others. But what we want to do is try to find the right combination of nutrients that your body needs. That's where you're going to get the best results. On the other hand, there is a magic nutrient that can help many people who are suffering from thyroid conditions, and especially those who are suffering from Hashimoto's. We know that in many individuals, one of the most common side effects of hypothyroidism is weight gain, or just stubborn and resistant weight that won't move despite diet and exercise. So today, that magic nutrient that may help with weight loss if you have hypothyroidism is selenium. Yep, selenium. It's like a mineral and it's an antioxidant. So I want to tell you all about selenium today, and then I'll explain how it may fit within also a healthy diet and lifestyle and exercise and may contribute to your overall weight loss goals. So thanks for watching. Let's get started. The first thing is that what we want to know is that selenium is very important, as I said, not just for the thyroid, but for other areas of your body. Now, it is a mineral, so it comes from the soil. It comes in our plant foods that we consume, and depending on where you live, selenium may be deficient in the soil, which means that even if you're eating a healthy, whole foods-based organic diet with lots of plant foods in it, those foods may also be deficient in selenium, which means this can affect your thyroid and other areas of your body. So the thyroid is in fact the organ in your body that has the highest concentration of this mineral, and it is there as a building block of proteins that are called selenoproteins. So you can kind of see the name, right? Selenium, selenoproteins. So it's concentrated in the thyroid, and selenium has these benefits for the thyroid gland and immune health, mainly because selenoproteins are antioxidants. So I mentioned it's a mineral, it's an antioxidant, it's an important nutrient, but really like the most important thing about selenium is its ability to combat free radicals. What? What is a free radical? Not just some crazy thing from the 1980s slang, but we call free radicals reactive oxygen species, okay? So, or ROSs, right? That makes me think of a lot of things, including the Princess Bride. But anyway, antioxidants help to remove free radicals that are generated actually during the process of building thyroid hormones in the thyroid gland. So, not to mention all of the other reactive oxygen species and free radicals that we encounter on a daily basis, but also the free radicals that are created endogenous inside of our own bodies by the very act of converting T4 to T3. So this is a very crucial function of the thyroid gland, is to produce these necessary hormones, but then also to have something there to kind of mop up the mess as those hormones are created. Okay, so this is where selenium comes in handy. It's needed for basically what I like to think of as kind of the cleanup crew. It's needed as the regulator, the monitor, the moderator, the overseer of this whole process. And so if you're deficient in selenium, not only do you not have this antioxidant capability, but you have a lot of other dysfunction in the thyroid gland itself. So as I said, some of these selenoproteins, they're actually really important. They're called deogenases, depending on how you want to pronounce it. They convert the inactive T form into the active form of T3. And so if your body is missing out on having selenium, if you're deficient in it, for example, your production of your T3 will be lower. And this can cause your TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone, from the pituitary to rise and force the thyroid gland to work harder. Okay, so it's all connected in a big feedback loop. As a byproduct of this sort of messy hormone production, there will be more free radical damage. There will be more mess, right? So it's kind of like if you had a wood shop and if you were always building things and creating clever handmade wood items, but you never swept up the dust or all the wood shavings, it would be a mess, right? It would be very difficult to continue going on and making these beautiful creative items and even to run a business around this if you had literally wood shavings piling up around you. So I kind of like to think of, this is what comes in. It's like the big shop vac. It's going to clean everything up. So let's see. So if you have these quote unquote wood shavings piling up all around you, this is going to result in a higher T4, a lower T3, and a higher than usual TSH. So the selenoproteins, these deogenases that convert the T4 into T3, they are part of the process, not only of the conversion, but also part of the cleanup of the reactive oxygen species that may result. So low selenium levels have also been associated with a certain amount of scar tissue within the thyroid gland that can make part of the thyroid non-functional or less functional. So kind of, again, to use my wood shop analogy, is that, I was just saying that you would be very dysfunctional, right, if you never clean up after yourself. And so in many ways, the scar tissue is sort of like that big mess, which is making that part of the thyroid almost kind of like part of the wood shop that just can't be used anymore because it's so overloaded with all of the wood shavings and the dust. Here's a really important part for those of you watching not just with hypothyroidism, but also with Hashimoto's, which is that selenium can actually help to reduce the autoimmune attack or the antithyroid antibodies in your immune system. So when maybe you've watched some of my other videos about how to lower antibody levels naturally, right, or how to eat to lower inflammation, another component is making sure you have adequate levels of selenium on board in your food and also as a potential dietary supplement to help support your body in the regulation of these antibody levels. So some research has shown that people taking a certain sodium selenite formula or single nutrient supplement, they have been able to reduce the TPO antibody level by 40% in just 90 days. So, and then even 55% after 6 months. And it has been shown that potentially if you stop taking selenium, antibody levels can go back up. So it's important to know that it is actually there as a regulator of the immune system and as keeping those antithyroid antibodies in check based on their role in cleaning up, right? So preventing some of that attack and those acting as an antioxidant level in the body. So now we'll talk a little bit about where you can get selenium from foods, and then we'll talk a little bit about selenium supplements, and then we'll jump into talking about how selenium can help if you need to lose weight. And that's where I think, kind of the gist of today's video therein lies, if you will. All right, so Brazil nuts are famous for their high concentration of selenium. In just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts, you can get a very good dose of selenium. But if you have a nut allergy or you don't like Brazil nuts or they're hard to find in your local shopping area, that may not be the best source. So there are some other sources of selenium-rich foods, and that would also include fish and other nuts. But again, if you have a nut allergy, that can be problematic. And also gluten-free whole grains, preferably soaked and sprouted, can also be a very good source of selenium. Remember that selenium is in the soil, and so all plant foods, including a lot of fruits and vegetables, if they're grown in a selenium-rich soil, will also contain selenium, but you'd have to eat a very, abundant plant-based diet in order to get a lot in terms of what you need in your diet. So let's talk about how maybe supplementation can be of benefit. So let's see. I have some information here. You have to be careful with selenium, unlike some other supplements where it's kind of hard to overdose or take too much. With selenium, because it is a micronutrient, meaning it's a mineral and it's only needed in very small or trace amounts, you have to be actually taking a dose that has hopefully potentially been studied, right? You don't want to just go buy something off the shelf and not know if this dose works for your body and with your thyroid and for weight loss. But one of the studies in overweight individuals, their research was based on a 240 microgram selenium supplement. And I would say that's probably like right in the middle. Some people do take up to 400 micrograms for a short period of time. Taking 400 micrograms long-term may be contraindicated for a variety of reasons, but there can be some reasons why absorption of selenium maybe isn't taking place in your body. You need to have adequate stomach acid, right, for not only digestion and absorption and assimilation, but also you need to have all of the necessary pancreatic enzymes that are helping to support and pull out the selenium from the foods that you're eating. So if your digestion is a little bit off, maybe you do need a higher dose. And this is where working with someone who is board certified in holistic nutrition can be a very good benefit. Also, if you consume alcohol on a regular basis, or if you have been taking certain types of medications that may interfere with the absorption of selenium and other minerals, that also can change the amount or the dose of selenium that you need in order for it to be successful for you in supporting the thyroid in all of the ways that I've been talking about. The recommended daily value, it's important to know, is only 55 micrograms. And I personally think it's pretty easy to get 55 micrograms per day from food. But again, depending on your own personal situation, you may need more. According to the National Institute of Health, you can take up to 400 micrograms of selenium, but not for long term. So it is kind of hard to know all of this stuff, isn't it? Selenium supplements typically come in a 200 microgram tablet taken once per day, but you can also get a 100 microgram tablet that you could take in divided doses. It may be hard for your body to absorb the full 200 micrograms at one time. So depending on the type of selenium supplement that you're using, and again, working with your qualified board certified holistic nutrition practitioner, they can help you figure out how much to take and when, and also in what form of selenium. The body is going to absorb the majority of selenium from a particular supplement called selenomethionine. And so that's the one you want to look for if you're at the health food store or you're maybe looking online. Selenomethionine is the one that is the most absorbable, right? So that's important. Let's see here. I want to give you a little bit more information. All right, so if you were to be taking too much selenium long-term, let's talk about maybe what some of those toxic side effects might be like. Well, you would probably notice digestive issues, probably first and foremost. You probably have some loose stool, nausea, maybe loss of appetite. You definitely would be feeling some digestive, maybe gurgling or upset stomach. That's really the kind of first and foremost number one sign. Hey, time to back off, discontinue taking this supplement or take a lower dose. Other people have reported a metallic taste in their mouth or changes to their skin or their hair or their nails. In fact, even hair loss, which of course is common in a lot of people who have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. So you may be thinking, well, I'm going to take selenium to help improve my hair loss situation, which if you're taking too much could then of course exacerbate hair loss. So just be careful. I just wanted to make sure I provided this little disclaimer. And of course, this video in no way is providing any medical information. It's here as an educational resource for you so you can learn about this important mineral antioxidant and how it supports your thyroid. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff about weight loss now. Talking about, the ways in which selenium supports chronic, problematic weight gain or resistant weight loss when you have hypothyroidism is really dealing with everything I talked about at the beginning of this video, which is that the thyroid needs selenium in order to convert your T4 into the active form of T3. Having optimal levels, as shown by your blood work when you are tested regularly by your provider, can indicate if your metabolism is working properly, right? So you want to be in that upper quartile of your free T3 range to indicate whether or not you are getting this good conversion of T4 to T3. But you'll also notice that when your T3 is optimal and you're feeling at your best, that your energy levels should restore quite nicely. Some of your sleep problems should go away. You may notice that you have less brain fog. And then, of course, having more energy for things like exercise and also cooking and eating properly will also help contribute to weight loss. So it is very much a holistic approach to the hypothyroidism weight issue, and not just because selenium in and of itself is really a magic bullet, so to speak. A couple more things that I would like to mention, which is that I talked about the study where the overweight adults were taking the 240 microgram selenium supplement. They were also following a health supportive diet. And in this particular case, it was also a calorie restricted diet. So one of the things that I think is really important with selenium is that, like a lot of our nutrients, they work best when we are eating the right types of foods for our body. So as I said, if you're already eating well and exercising and you are not seeing the number on the scale move, and you know that it would be beneficial to your health to lose weight, continue what you're doing and adding in this 240 microgram supplement of selenium may be just the thing that your body needs. On the other hand, don't take 400 micrograms and eat a standard American diet full of junk food and processed food, alcohol, sugar, etc., and think that this is going to be the thing that really makes a big difference for you in terms of weight loss. So it is a holistic approach. It definitely is not an all or nothing kind of a thing, right? You kind of have to look at the pros and cons. You need to see if there are any contraindications for you. Speak with your prescribing physician, whoever is managing you for your thyroid, and then also working with a board-certified holistic nutrition therapist to help ensure that your diet has adequate sources of selenium and also that your supplement that you're taking is right for you as well. So I hope this is helpful. Selenium is really a part of the overall picture in terms of achieving your healthiest life, your healthiest weight, and the best approach and best health that you can have for your thyroid, and also overcoming autoimmune disease in conjunction with maybe some of the other conventional methods that you are currently using or trying. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please remember to share this video with other people who may have Hashimoto's and see if it helps them out as well. You can subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button so that each week when I release a new video, you'll get it sent to your notifications straight away. I'll be back soon with more information, and thanks for watching today's video all about selenium. Bye!